Hey guys, my name is Kay, and this is Always Remember Me. I played this game a little bit before in its demo, but because it was a demo, it was incredibly short. I was finally able to get the full version of it during Steam's Thanksgiving sale, and I wanted to share the experience with you. This game also has a really nice theme song, but in order for me to not get hit by the copyrighted hammer from YouTube, I decided to turn it off. So, let's get started. We were walking together, hand in hand, watching as the sun descended beneath the horizon. The evening was wearing on, and the warm colors of twilight were starting to fade from the sky. I don't know what to do. You're doing enough. Don't worry about things so much. But he still doesn't approve of me. Do you think he doesn't like my job? Maybe he thinks it doesn't earn enough money? Or that I should be doing something better? I would like to do more, but it's the best part-time job I could find. His eyes were sympathetic as he looked down at my worried expression. I know he feels bad that his father, Osher, was creating so much grief for us, but I also knew that the situation was going to be difficult when I decided to stay with him. I don't think it's your work. He can be pretty stubborn. I know some people think that I could do better. It's not like a job at an ice cream parlor is anything special. I'm attending my first year of college for creative writing. It's a natural fit, since I've always loved to write poetry and prose. I had to take a part-time job during the summer to pay for my studies. Some girls in my classes have really good summer jobs. Honestly, I don't think he'd approve of any girl without a lot of persuading first. I don't think it's anything personal. He's just being stubborn. Yes, but after all this time, I really thought that he would have warmed up to me by now. He just doesn't understand that we're serious about a relationship. Or he doesn't want to understand. It's just been so exasperating, since everyone else has been so supportive of us. He'll come around eventually. It's just a matter of time. I hope so. I just wish he wouldn't object almost every time he finds out we're going out on a date. I know, but it'll get better soon, I promise. We reached the staircase that led back to the boardwalk and parking lot. Even over the sand dunes, I could see where Aaron's motorcycle was parked. We were about to ascend the stairs when he stopped and turned around to face me. He took my other hand in his and leaned down, gently kissing me on the lips. I couldn't help but smile slightly, feeling my anxiety melt away. Don't look so worried all the time, okay? You're much more beautiful when you're smiling, Amy. I returned the smile and leaned up to kiss him again. You're such a romantic. You make it sound like it's a bad thing. We both laughed as we ascended the stairs, still hand in hand. This is definitely how it should be. I always feel so safe with him at my side. Let's go home, alright? Okay, but can we stop for ice cream first? I get an employee discount on everything, you know. Sure. They have the best new type of ice cream sundae now. We should split one. Sounds good. My smile grew brighter as pleasant thoughts passed through my mind. He mounted his motorcycle, and I sat on the back, wrapping my arms around his middle and holding on tightly. I rested my head against his broad shoulders, and I let a contented sigh escape my lips as the engine started up. The sun disappeared beneath the horizon, and the darkness of night began to overtake the sky. We sped out of the parking lot in less than a minute and on to the nearly empty road that led back into the town. The trees blurred as we flew down the road. We were only driving for a short while before a strange feeling of foreboding settled over me. I shivered involuntarily, despite the warm temperature, and squeezed Aaron tightly, watching as it got darker and darker on the one-way road. I was thinking of what to make for us for breakfast in the morning when we reached an intersection. We waited patiently for the light to change color, and when the green circle let off its artificial glow, Aaron resumed driving. We had just entered the intersection when, very suddenly, I heard it. What? I looked up, eyes wide with confusion, to see another car barreling down the road, swerving back and forth as it approached us. Aaron tried to steer away from the oncoming vehicle, but there was no hope of evasion. The car made no attempt to brake as it passed through the red light and collided with us. All I remembered before the hellacious sound of the crash and losing consciousness was Aaron turning the motorcycle to try and protect me from being directly hit. When I opened my eyes, the brightness of the lights above me were almost blinding. Though I had never spent very much time in a hospital, I recognized the scent of disinfectant and various other cleaners to be similar of what one smelled at a doctor's office. Where am I? It took me another moment of waiting for my eyes to adjust to the bright lights before I remembered what had happened. My eyes widened in horror at the vividness of the memory. Aaron. I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. A nurse out in the hallway heard my sudden cry and quickly hurried inside my room. Miss, please lay back down. You weren't seriously injured in the crash, but we would like you to rest before we decide if you're ready to be released. I'll be looking after you until that time comes. Your injuries are minimal, only minor bruising, but we can't let you leave just yet. We were in a car accident, right? That's correct. But please, lay back down. We're very glad to see you conscious, but rest is imperative. I reluctantly laid back down, but I was completely awake and not letting the woman leave before I heard a proper explanation. Can you tell me what happened? What about the man who was with me, Aaron? Is he okay? The nurse's expression seemed to darken slightly when I mentioned him, which made me worry even more. What happened? I have to know. I am not fully aware of the situation. I need to call Dr. Rayner. He can explain everything to you. I waited impatiently, dissatisfied with the nurse's quick departure. It only took a few moments for a handsome young man in a doctor's uniform to enter the room. I was surprised to see that he wasn't all that much older than Aaron and I, most likely a fresh graduate out of medical school. Good evening, Amy. I'm very glad to see you're awake. My name's Eddie Rayner, but you can call me Eddie. The man said with a warm smile, revealing perfectly white teeth. Yes. Good evening. What time is it? Is it still Saturday? Actually, it's technically Sunday. It's 3 in the morning. I'll be happy to answer your questions, but you should probably get back to bed soon. I'm not doing anything until I find out what happened to Aaron. The young doctor's smile faded, his reaction much like the nurse's. Unable to hold back my growing worry, I found myself starting to yell as tears gathered in my eyes. I have to know what happened to him, please. Is he all right? Eddie stood up and nodded toward the door, motioning for me to follow. I felt my heart sink, then begin to fill with cold dread. He noticed the fear in my expression and gave me a brief explanation. I'd rather show you his current condition, but I assure you, he's fine and his life is in no danger. He has sustained a head injury. He will recover, but it doesn't seem to have done any severe damage, but he has lost some of his memories. We're still trying to observe the specifics of just what he had forgotten. As the nurse probably told you, your injuries are minimal. Please follow me. I can take you to him, so you can see that he's all right. I hurried, pulling on a pair of slippers that had been left beside my bed, and followed after the young doctor as he led me out of my hospital room and into the hallway, listening attentively to every word he said. From what I can tell, he was trying to protect you during the crash. We're keeping you overnight for observations, but other than some bruising, you're perfectly okay. You don't have any broken bones or severe internal bleeding, thanks to Aaron's efforts. I felt my heart wrench as I followed him through the hallways. I wasn't walking very quickly, apparently conscientious of how tired I felt. Aaron. From what I can tell, Aaron is suffering from amnesia. He still retains long-term memories, but recent ones from the past few years are hazy or non-existent. He's quite a bit confused at the moment, so we want to be sure not to cause him any unnecessary emotional stress. We need him to regain his memory on his own, but it will be in slow steps. I see. This is my studio. I know this is a lot to take in, so please feel free to ask me any questions you might have. He still remembers his family, but he doesn't seem to recall anything from recent years. You mean he doesn't remember me? I'm sorry. We asked him about having a girlfriend, but he doesn't seem to remember anyone by the name of Amy. I felt the tears I'd been determined not to cry welling up again, ready to fall. I see. We walked through a doorway and into a room with a glass window that let me see into Aaron's room. I'm sorry to ask this of you. But since we don't want to cause him any grief or aggravate his condition, I must ask that you do not meet with him yet. He is very confused and needs rest. I understand. I remained there for a long time, watching him and letting tears silently slip down my cheeks as two nurses spoke to Aaron, who wore a perplexed expression. How could you figure out all about me? And this is where gameplay comes in. So it says you can move between locations using the map. Right now you can only return back to your home, but later in the game you'll be able to move where you want. And yeah, this is where we are going to end. As you can see on this bar, she's very tired or upset. Her morale is down. Culture, creativity, romance, discipline, money, day, and then the time of day. But for now, we're just gonna end the episode, and thanks for watching.